hearing you talk about how it's advanced so much that it's actually keeping the energy there and helping you be more mobile and keep going with it. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean I still work 24-hour shifts in the ER, and energy has not been an issue for me.
Dude, you're a beast.
The streets are paved with apathy cold. Soft hands clutch phones, heads bent low. Sacrifice drowned in a sea of ease. Forgotten ghosts scream through the breeze.
Hey, it's Thursday. You know what that means. What a great day to be alive on a Thursday night here, right here in Cochise County, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Cochise County Veteran-Owned Business with me, Erik Z. How's it going, everybody? How was your Thursday? What's going on? What's new? What? Wait a second. My background's different. There's a reason for that. This week, we're not going by way of the studio. We're kind of off-site, but we're going to go at this interview this week. If you follow my other show off of my YouTube channel at _Erik Z, we're going to go at this one, Gen X Grit, Veteran-Owned Business, Built Different podcast. The only way I could get a hold of this individual this week was to go ahead and do the interview via Zoom, because he's a very busy individual. Try to get him in, last minute things, pull him away. So next best thing, get him on Zoom. And that's what we did. And we had a very good conversation, very interesting conversation. Can't wait for you to hear it. So without further ado, I will take you to the interview right now.
All right, we've cut from me to me. So now here we are, and now we're going to get to see how I do the shows. Gen X Grit, Veteran-Owned Business, Built Different podcast style, because sometimes people are just not available because they are so knee-deep in their work. Believe me, when I do my 9 to 5, if I get a chance to walk, I'm happy. But I try my best to get my chances to walk because steps are, in fact, beneficial. But sometimes other people, as my guest who's ready to introduce himself, because he's on a tight schedule, so we had to catch him when we can. So this is the time. So through the technology known as Zoom, we are going to go ahead and conduct Cochise County Veteran-Owned Business, Gen X Grit style. And I'm going to let my guest introduce himself. And you guys need to pay attention to him. He's an amazing individual. I've known him for a couple of years. Always a good time, especially that one time in Kentucky and Las Vegas, baby. But go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey Eric, thanks for that. Yeah, Kentucky and Las Vegas. You know what happens there stays there, right?
Yeah, that's
But
right.
hey, I'm Jason Steinberg. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I'm an Army veteran. I was a fueler in my previous life, and happily served my country.
How long was you in the military?
I did 8 years.
Okay. And you went in there and stayed the whole time as a fueler?
Yep, I sure did. And then I got out so I could pursue a medical career. Became a firefighter paramedic, and then here I am now.
What made you want to go from fueler and going into the medical field?
You know, when I went into the military, I wanted to be a firefighter. That was something I wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. And when I went to MEPS, they tell me, hey, you know, we're pretty much making those all civilian jobs. So let's put you into fueler. I'm like, well, okay.
Hey, you got to get in somewhere to where eventually you could go ahead and get the GI fund and get the money together so you could go ahead and pursue that field.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
it
you
all
get,
worked out.
well, obviously you did because we're here where we are today. So you got out. When did you get out?
2002. I ETS'd in 2002.
2002. Are you originally from here?
Yeah, born and raised in Arizona, born in Phoenix, and I grew up down in southern Arizona.
Oh, okay. So you already had roots planted here when you were getting out or prior to getting out.
Correct.
Okay. Um, so what when you were here, Southern Arizona, you got out 2002, you start going into the medical field. What were some of the areas that you said nurse practitioner, but was there any areas that you're going in particular, or is it just a general?
So my full-time job, I work emergency medicine. I work for Copper Queen Hospital in their emergency department. I bounce between Bisbee and Douglas. Recently, I've started working up in Tucson at Northwest, their main campus, Houghton campus, and Sarita campus. But I I also am starting my own business, doing um, hormone replacement therapy, medically assisted weight loss, and we're getting into some peptides, which have been showing a lot of promise in bettering people's health and preparing people for the future, aging well, so to speak.
Oh, very nice. Are those peptides, are they like from what I've heard on commercials and such, was it GLP-1 or Ozempic type thing, or is it something totally different?
So, uh, so technically speaking, your Ozempic and GLP-1s are peptides,
Okay.
but there's another category of peptides that is kind of emerging that helps with building muscle and burning fat and repair and slowing down aging. I'm sure you've heard of, NAD. That's a kind of a big buzzword. That's one of the things that we're using in our peptide stacks to help people have energy and just feel better and younger.
Okay. So these peptides, they actually help you with energy to keep your muscle. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and they also trigger parts of your brain to produce growth hormone, and they've fragmented it out. After we turn 30, our growth hormone production decreases significantly,
Right.
just like our testosterone and everything else. Dang, turning 30 anyway.
Mm,
Um, but
try 50.
but next year, I'll be there next year. I just turned 49, so yeah. But yeah, so the peptides are molecules of proteins that trigger certain things within our human growth hormone um, to do yeah, I can't speak today, specific functions within our body, whether it be, helping us with our sleep, um, helping us to build muscle, burn visceral fat, they're all targeted. So we build a custom plan based on what you're looking to achieve. And then there's peptides that can help you tan naturally without having to be out in the sun. There's ones that help, improve the elasticity of your skin and reduce wrinkles. And there's ones for hair growth. There's just peptides for everything.
They seem to cover the full spectrum. That's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. The future is amazing with these things.
Um, with that field, how long has it been around?
It's been around for quite a while.
Hmm.
It's been a more emerging field over probably the last 4 or 5 years. Um, Initially it was kind of taboo, like, oh my goodness, you're going to hurt people with this. And, traditional medicine being what it is, we tend to throw a band-aid on a problem and treat a symptom rather than be preventative. And I've done a lot of training in preventative medicine. I've received certifications in functional medicine and obesity management, and also hormone replacement therapy. So, and then I'm also working toward a certification in peptide management right now.
Okay. These type of peptides, how are they normally taken?
The most common way is injected. Typically, they're done in the morning. There are some that you can take orally. There's a medicine called BPC 157 that helps on repairing, damage to the body, like joints. It was initially created to repair your gut. So a lot of times, if they're trying to repair gut, increase your gut health, decrease permeability, like if you have, they call it SIBO, or leaky gut, that you take this BPC and it helps heal that. Um, but a lot of the bodybuilders and stuff for their joints and stuff, they'll inject the BPC.
Okay. Is there a period in between, like a safety period where you can take each dosage of peptide?
You mean as far as like a length of time?
A length of time, like say I take one today, when would I be able to take the next one?
Oh, you can. So each peptide and there's specific schedules, but you can stack multiple peptides together and take them all on the same day. A lot of times we cycle them, especially the ones that trigger like growth hormone and stuff like that. We cycle them. We'll do like 8 weeks on, do them 5 days a week, um, and then we'll take 8 weeks off, and then we'll start a cycle all over again.
So if an individual comes to see you and they're looking to go and say for their gut for their weight management or whatever the case may be, I mean you're gonna help tailor it to them what they're looking for. Is basically what I'm asking. You guys will have you'll have the conversation and then you'll come to the conclusion, all right, this is what you should do, or what exactly is that process?
So the process is, right now what we're doing is we're starting everybody off with we're sending, whenever you book a consult with us, we're going to send you a lab requisition, have you go get your blood, and we're going to do a pretty, you know, in-depth panel of laboratory studies, not your typical, you go to your doctor and they check your thyroid, they check a TSH. Well, I'm checking, your T3 levels, your T4 levels, your reverse T3 levels, which tell if your T3 is being converted back to T4. I'm checking thyroid antibodies, to make sure you're not having some autoimmune response to, and your thyroid's attacking itself or your body's attacking your thyroid. So I'm doing sex hormones, I'm doing inflammatory markers. I mean, just a super in-depth, comprehensive panel. And then, so the goal is that we have that lab work back on the day that we have our consultation, and we'll sit down and we'll do it over Zoom like this. We don't have to go to an office, so it's pretty convenient. And we'll take a look at your labs, and I can and I'll look at your labs beforehand and have an idea of what would be best to optimize you. And then we'll come up and we'll discuss, well, these are your options, how do you want to pursue this?
Okay. Do you have a website where people could go to see if they have anything to read up on or just get a better understanding before they go ahead and reach out to you?
Certainly, it's Sonoran Desert Vitality.com, kind of a long word there, or kind of a long name, but and we are currently in the process of revamping the website. Um, and we do it as a monthly membership. We don't accept insurance, so we just do a monthly membership for our services, and it seems to work out better. Labs we take care of, ongoing labs we take care of. It's all included in your membership fees. Medications are typically included in those membership fees. Sometimes, depending on what you want, specifically, we may have to charge a little bit extra, based on those medications. But we try to make our packages pretty all inclusive.
And the labs they could do anywhere and they will be sent directly to your office or to where you're at.
So we use a company out of Florida, actually, called Access Medical Labs. You
Okay.
can go have labs drawn at a LabCorp facility, which I think in Cochise County is the only place that we can have labs drawn. Other parts of the state, there's other labs that we can utilize to have the labs drawn, and they ship it off to the lab. And usually within 24 to 48 hours, I have the results of your labs.
Okay. Um, And how long have you, I believe I asked this before, you said you've been doing this for a couple years now?
So Sonoran Desert Vitality, I want to say we started it in 20, I want to say it was 2021. I can't remember exactly, but I want to say it was 2021. Nurse practitioner wise, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and that's all been predominantly emergency medicine.
A few moments later.
So in the early stages, I knew you were starting that. I wanted to say around 2021, that time too, pretty much when I was first introduced to you and your wife, Marie. And so far, I'm assuming it's going very well. You're still going at it. I'm guessing your patient base is doing well.
It is doing well. We've focused a lot on the GLP-1 side of the business, just because it's been kind of the big buzz everywhere, if you will. Um, but there's so much more to offer. I mean, I'm a product of the GLP-1s. I've dropped 130 pounds using GLP-1s, and I mean the stuff is amazing. So there's definitely no shame in the GLP-1 game.
And that is true. If you ever see a before and after picture, you can see that quite a bit of difference. It's been amazing for you. And
Yeah.
I'll admit, for me, that would be that one of the things you talked about earlier, I would have been worried about is the energy aspect because I continue to hear stories like, oh, you don't want to do this because you'll lose your energy and then it'll take away from this. But hearing you talk about how it's advanced so much that it's actually keeping the energy there and helping you be more mobile and keep going with it. That's a good thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean I still work 24-hour shifts in the ER, and energy has not been an issue for me.
Dude, you're a beast.
A few moments later.
Um, and besides all this stuff, you have another little not meant it's terrible to say a little hobby. You have a big hobby. You also fly airplanes.
Yeah, yeah, I do, and I'm building one. So
You're building one?
yeah, I'm building an airplane right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm
That's
building a little Zenith 601 HDS, a little low wing two-seater.
okay. Small little two-person commercial airplane. Um,
Yeah.
how long did it take for you to get your license? Because I know you were also doing that for a while, and I remember the post you made. It's like going, "Hey, I got my license. We can do this for real now."
Yeah. It took me about a year and a half to get my private pilot's license.
It's very good. You are a very busy individual. If you're not doing medical services in all of Cochise County and or Tucson, you also got your small business going on, and then for leisure, you fly planes.
Yeah,
And you're a
yeah.
full-time family man too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, my wife is a saint, that's for sure. She has the patience of one at least.
You two are an amazing couple, and I am so happy to know you both. It's been a great journey with you guys so far, and I can't wait to see where you go with your company. Once again, Sonoran.
SonoranDesertVitality.com.
All right. You have any final words for us? Any last things before you head back out and get back to your 30 some odd schedule or whatever it is?
Yeah. The only thing I would like, one thing we kind of brushed over is hormone replacement therapy. That's we do it for both men and women. Perimenopausal, menopausal women. Hormones are tricky, and if they're off, we feel like garbage. So, we manage all of that. That's kind of our main focus is managing the hormones. I mean, I've been on TRT for years, and what a difference it makes in your life. Um, for many different reasons, and being on hormone replacement therapy, both male or female, there's this stigma that you're going to increase risks of cancer with hormones. Well, hormones are naturally occurring in our body, and if you're monitoring things and watching things and doing things the right way, that risk is pretty negligible. Um, so if things feel off, don't hesitate to get in and see somebody and have your hormones checked, especially after we turn 30, especially for us guys.
Oh yeah.
Everything changes after 30. And women usually around 40, they start feeling changes too. They may not be visually seeing changes, but they start seeing changes too. So don't be afraid to get in and get checked.
It's very good to get checked, especially early. I know my wife, she had she was getting checked early with her fibrosis. She had that checked, and then she made sure to go in early, and then she found out there's like it's Lynch something, but it's something that messed with her DNA or whatever. It's I forget the replacement or whatever, but it's called Lynch something. But she got that checked early, so she was able to take care of a lot of things instead of just like letting it go, and then it could have been a lot worse. So you're exactly right. If you're feeling something, if you're feeling off, if anything of that nature, you're don't brush it off. Definitely go get checked because you never know.
Well, and the other thing too, if you go to your PCP and they just run basic labs and they tell you, well, everything looks fine. I mean, we know our bodies. If something's not right, don't just take, well, everything looks fine at face value. There's an answer somewhere.
Mhm.
And you may have to go see a functional medicine provider. Because they do some pretty deep diving into things. They'll check stool samples, they'll check, a plethora of labs. It's not just, and it doesn't always need a medicine to fix it. Sometimes it's a supplement. Sometimes your vitamin D's off, or whatever. You
Mhm.
could be low on calcium, or not calcium, copper. I mean, how often do you see copper come up on a lab?
Not
Never.
that much. Not that much at all.
But I mean, these are things that functional medicine providers check. So it's pretty comprehensive.
All right. I appreciate you coming on today, taking a moment out of your busy schedule, and I do mean busy schedule. So thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and post this information in the introduction above. Check the comments below. They're going to be there as well. By all means, get a hold of Jason if you need any assistance. If you want to look into it further, by all means. Subject matter expert. He's a SME for a reason. So by all means, check out Jason. Check out Sonoran Desert Vitality.com. Oh, I think you're froze again.
There it is.
Definitely. I think. What was the last thing you heard?
If you need any assistance, get a hold of Jason. And we're on the gram and Facebook as well, Sonoran Desert Vitality.
Sonoran Desert Vitality. That's what I was going to say. Definitely go check out Jason Desert. Sonoran Desert Vitality.com. Check out his page. I'm also going to throw up his social media for Facebook and Instagram. By all means, if you're needing assistance or anything, or you're not sure, he'll be able to help you. Jason, thank you very much for coming on the show today. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Eric. Great seeing you.
Great seeing you as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut away from here. Going to go cut back from me to me. I have some final words of my own, and then everybody go ahead and have a great Thursday. Bye.
Have a good one, Eric.
Now, how about that? What an amazing interview. I told you Jason is busy constantly. If he's not busy helping all of Cochise County with his nurse practitioner studies, helping out there, he's also out there, Tucson Northwest, getting it done. Not only that, has a small business, Sonoran Desert Vitality.com. Took me a while to think about it. You know how I am. You know how I get. Don't even trip if this is more than the first time you've seen this. Sonoran Desert Vitality.com. Definitely go check that out. He is updating the page, but he's still got a lot of information up there. Check out the website. Check out the socials. I've put them up in descriptions up above, so leave your comments down below. Also, when he's not doing that, he's, of course, a full-fledged family man. Him and his wife, Marie, always doing some amazing stuff, getting it done, there for the family, as a good father should be. And when he's not doing that, he's flying airplanes. He's got his private license, and he's building an airplane, of all things. So, if you want to go look for a busy individual, go find Jason. No matter how busy he is, he's more than ready to help you with whatever you need. So definitely go check out his website for his business. Go check out his socials. You're going to learn so much stuff and so much more. Now, next week, we are going to be on the road again, but this is one you're going to want to watch because it's going to affect May. It is a repeat offender. We're having him back on, but we're going on site. You're going to like it. You're going to enjoy it. So please come on back next Thursday. Cochise County Veteran-Owned Business. Thursday at 5 with me, Erik Z. I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'm going to try to have a great weekend, but the stuff that I wanted to do, I can't do because I got to do other things. But hey, we do what we got to do to get it done. Done, do, did, done right. Something like that. Whatever. Meh. Everybody take care of yourself, and I will see you next week. Bye.